Hello and welcome, and today I'm in Poniatowa in eastern Poland, and I woke up this morning in a place called Garbów, which is approximately 15 kilometers to the northwest of the center of Lublin, to find that the number of subscribers had now gone over 50,000. So thank you very much to all of you who have subscribed to this channel. And I was thinking about what the time 8.5 months ago I was in North Shields in the United Kingdom, and that was when it went above 45,000. So today I am at a location which is related obviously to the Holocaust, like much of what I do. And I'm at the location of the Erntefeldt massacre of the 4th of November 1943, or one of the locations, because the biggest single location was at Majdanek concentration camp. Today I am at Poniatowa. This was a labour camp, if you like, or slave labour camp, and rather curious history to this place, in as much as it also had a premium part to it. There was places here where there were sort of apartments which people could actually pay to live in. It didn't, of course, do the occupants a great deal of good. Allowed, however, Nazis to extract more cash out of them, because the people who paid for the premium service, I hope you feel the level of sarcasm there in my voice, were killed at this location. I'll turn the camera around so you can see what it looks like. So this is where people were murdered. We've got the German officers, not barracks, but apartments over there. Now this was built by the Polish state in the mid to late 30s. They wanted to make a sort of a special economic zone, and here this was largely given over to clothing. I have seen it written it was armaments, but it was largely clothing here. But a lot of the clothing that was produced for the German army after the occupation. We've got this sign up here to the memory of the 14,000 Jews, citizens of Poland, Germany, Austria, Czechoslovakia, prisoners of the German labour camp at Poniatowa, murdered by the Germans in mass execution, Erntefeldt, Festival, 4th November 1943, and that happened at this location where we are right now. Now there's a number of sites here at Poniatowa related into the camps that existed. Indeed, the first camp that was on this ground here was for Soviet prisoners of war. This was set up in September of 1941, and of the approximately 24,000 Soviet POWs who were sent here, almost 90% of them were dead within 6 months, dead by the conditions, the failure to provide cover for them, proper food, the work they were, the mistreatment. However, of some of those Soviet POWs who were at this location, around 500 of them ended up Travniki. They were trained to be the Travniki men, who were those that assisted in the Holocaust. Indeed, some 600 Travniki men were those that guarded this camp. There was only about 40 SS officers here at the camp, and for a large period of the time of the existence of this camp, it was outside of the SS administration unit. And the person who was responsible to a large extent for this, a character called Walter Turbans, bit like Oskar Schindler. He turned up in here in Poland, I should say, almost immediately. He was in Tomaszów Mazowiecki, and he went later to the Warsaw Ghetto sometime in 1941, and he he succeeded. He set up workshops there. Indeed, there's a photograph which probably is from one of his workshops. There is another character as well who came from Gdansk, and the two of them, his name was Schultz, and Schultz is often linked as though it were the same company, but it's not. They were totally different companies. But Schultz was doing exactly the same thing. For whatever reason, the Jews weren't allowed to live in Warsaw. This was part of the Nazi mentality. So they set this camp here up at the time that the Warsaw Ghetto was being, how shall I put it, people were being, well, Warsaw Ghetto itself was turned into a concentration camp effectively in the winter of 1942-43. So this was proposed by Turbans and Schultz as a sort of an alternative to what was clearly going to happen in Warsaw. And there were some people who came here voluntarily. Indeed, the first people actually came here came from Opola Lubelska. They were the Jews from the ghetto there, and they turned up late 1942. Anyway, so I've done a longer video on this, and so I can tell you what else I did. Yesterday was a place called Garbów, as I said. I there attempted to do a video on Salomon Morel, but I was walking around, just walking and talking, and then I got in such a mess of the words. I thought, okay, that's I can't possibly post that. I'll have to do the whole thing again. But I think the start might have been relatively good. Salomon Morel was the head of two camps for largely for Germans, but also could have been anti-communist Poles in Upper Silesia. He was often said to have been the commandant at Lublin Castle, but he wasn't. That's not true. But he left for Israel in the 1990s. In fact, I actually met the prosecutor who was in charge of his case, and he'd asked Morel to come in for questioning, and Morel had sent him a postcard from Tel Aviv. Anyway, so the prosecutor, I met him socially. It was in a bar in Lublin around 2002, and of that very same year, so nearly a quarter of a century ago, I came here, and I was with Michael Tregenza, who's a sort of excellent historian, fantastic knowledge, and incredible knowledge. He wrote a book on Bełżec, the death camp, and we had somebody show us around here who'd done some local research. Unfortunately, I don't have contact with that person anymore. Well, it was nearly a quarter of a century ago, and so also on this journey, I was in Kotsk. I've been trying to document the trail of even some of the killers from here, which one of the groups of killers from here was the Reserve Police Battalion 101 from Hamburg, who Christopher Browning and Daniel Goldhagen wrote about in Ordinary Men and Hitler's Willing Executioners, and so they participated in the Enterfest massacres, but also they murdered in several other localities, and I'll actually show you where these localities were. I was at Łomarze again, which was the second massacre which they did, and so I was there last year, but this year I thought I'd stop there and do a video on it. And this year, as my computer wasn't working, I thought, all right, I'll go and just do some walk and talk. So I did a video on the Police Battalion 101 and on the commander Trapp, who was in charge of it. So anyway, so to come back to the point here, Thanks so much for watching. Hope you found that interesting, and I upload every day at 100 hours now, and I do things like this from places where these things happen, so you can see what they look like today. So anyway, also there's a premium membership. It costs £5, €6, $6. For the moment, from me in Poniatowa, thanks for watching. Bye for now.